I think the pressure is not so much of the expected view count or target view count that I aim for. It's more like sometimes you have a video that probably got more viral, maybe 10K or what. Next video, you do feel some pressure because you feel that you need to match what is previously performed.
So speaking of like having a thought out plan, and this is not like a whim, what would your plan for, okay, if, because everybody would plan for success, like these are milestones that I want to hit. What were your plans for your future career as an influencer like, and when do you hit your first milestone?
Seriously speaking, I don't have any plans. It was that there was another dose, even though it sounds like a lot of things are being planned, right? But on the other hand, I didn't have like a big vision or a mission for the business.
Right.
There isn't like a revenue target. There was no profit target. It was really just let's just try and do it. So there's a bit of like, you know what Steve Jobs say, stay hungry, stay foolish, right?
Yep.
So their foolishness was actually quite apparent. So it was a bit like, I don't know, although a lot of things are planned for myself,
Right.
but there wasn't a lot of things planned for the business.
So how will you determine whether the business has succeeded then? Like what was your metric?
There wasn't a metric. Yeah, there wasn't. Okay, so maybe subconsciously it was whether the business can run by itself. That you don't need funding.
Right.
Just to stay afloat, right? You can pay your bills, you can pay your staff, you can pay salary to everybody. Then I think that was the subconscious expectation. Okay. And I would say that it wasn't like really risk-taking, 100% risk-taking endeavor, because prior to that, I've been doing some affiliate marketing for a course provider. Yeah, and then it kind of worked that I could send some of the audience, my audience, to the course provider, and the course provider did manage to clinch sales, right? Get them to buy. So then that's where I saw that it is proven, it's workable. So I wouldn't say that it's 100% that is risk-taking, right? Although there were teething issues, right? How you actually convert them to the customers and things like that. We meet some roadblocks. Initially, that was really very tough. It was really very tough. Then we started to play around with pricing. We started to play around with different modality. Then again, we found something that works. Right? So there's a lot of experimentation. Singaporeans, we like to learn by understanding what's the past exam papers like. 10-year series, correct?
Yeah.
I don't know whether is it still true today.
No,
right?
it's still true.
Still true today,
it's
right?
still true
Yeah.
today.
So it's what is written, what is given.
Right.
But the fact about the real life is there's a lot of experimentation. There is no rules one. There isn't somebody you can tell this will work for you, this will work for you.
Yep.
Sorry, you have to go and find it yourself. Right? You have to take a risk and find it yourself.
So when you started like uploading videos, right, then do you ever feel the pressure of like, oh, this video needs to hit like needs to be viral, that kind of thing? Or you just like kept posting and then see what works in a sense?
I think the pressure is not so much of the expected view count or target view count that I aim for. It's more like sometimes you have a video that probably got more viral, maybe, I don't know, 10K or what. Then after that, the next video, you do feel some pressure because you feel that you need to match what is previously performed, right? Other than that, I don't. I still go by what is the best topic for the next video. Right? I try to aim for what is best at the point in time, because sometimes it's not that your production or your content, it's just the topic.
Right.
If the topic doesn't come, if the market is very quiet, there is nothing much you can do.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the bigger challenge actually.
Because back then when you first started, there wasn't algorithm research. That wasn't a thing. Now people understand 10-minute mark, you throw where you can put 2 ads. That's probably where the sweet spot is. You do shorts because some people have brain rot attention span. And you've chosen a field that I would say is very restrictive, because you cannot snake oil the nonsense like, you do Logan Paul. You cannot do that, right? And what made you decide that in this day and age, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stay in finance. There's like beauty, there's healthcare. You go and watch the newer age finance people. They're always like, I'm going to talk about finance, but in Pokemon cards, so that the younger people will be more attentive to it. But you are here to just really hold the old vanguard of like, finance is finance. You should learn more about finance before you get distracted. Or like, what was that decision making process there?
Again, it's just me. It's just I do what I want
Just
to
wanna
do.
be
I don't really
authentic,
care what people think about it, right? So it could be a case where people, don't find me interesting. I talk about boring stuff, right? And even no matter which stock you talk about, there will always be naysayers,
Right.
right? So you have to get comfortable with that. And the thing is, for me, I found that I get more local audience, right? Less international audience, probably older audiences as well. And I tend to talk more about Singapore stocks, and they tend to do well. Right? If I talk about US stocks, I don't do that well, right? Because the competition is probably harder. Right? There are more interesting guys talking about US stocks, and you probably want to hear American talk about US stocks.
Right.
Look like one yellow skin guy talk about US stocks. It looks so funny. And Singapore stocks, China stock is still okay, right? You still do get some interest. I think again competition is lower in that end. And I look Chinese, so it's okay. I am Chinese actually. So, and again finding the niche lah, right? So sometimes it's not that I don't want to do US stocks more, right? So I start to do more Singapore stocks or China stocks, and then people will start to ring fence you. That,
Yep.
Oh, you are the China supporter, that kind of thing, right? Then the funny thing is that when I look at my own investment, I have more in US
Right.
than anywhere else. So people start to view you very differently because of the content that you do. It may not be a true representation of who you really are. So that is somehow you will be pigeonholed to a personality, online personality.
Yeah. So then what happens to the people who, let's say, there will exist a subset of people who idolize the way you think because they strongly identify with the way you present yourself on camera. Then what happens when the things you choose to talk about, and then they decide that, I'm just going to follow what Alvin is talking about, even though he doesn't strongly recommend it. There must be a reason he's talking about it. And if that goes awry, there's definitely going to be keyboard warriors. How do you deal with that? Even though it was not your intention that, I made this video means you must invest, but people will always have this parasocial relationship with influencers. How do you deal with that?
The good thing is that I'm not aggressively pushing for any investments. I don't go outright in any video that says that you should buy this or you should sell this. Right? In no video I mentioned those kind of things. So I always keep it more factual. I always keep it what are the pros and cons about this situation. I try to be very objective and balanced about it. And then I let the audience decide what they want to do. So it's more like I'm trying to bring out certain points so that they don't need to spend so much time researching themselves. Right? So part of their due diligence can be done that way. So that is how I conceptualize those videos. It's not to make a recommendation what people should do with their money. At the end of the day, it's very personal, right? And the situation of that person or context can be very different from what I envisage. Right? So so thank God, touch wood, I don't have people like keyboard warriors to come and say, you snake oil, sell snake oil like this. No, I don't have, right? Because I don't have that personality. Right. So I don't attract this kind of people. Right. They'll find me boring, right? So it's a good thing that, it's a part of rejection, auto rejection, that they don't come into the.
But actually, I'm quite curious. For financial influencers, do you guys receive endorsements in a sense, those beauty influencers, they give you PR packages, but for financial influencers, do companies go and reach out to you to promote a certain product? We do. For example, ETFs, right? For example, brokerages. For example, iFAST. Financial institution, banks, right? They want to reach out to an audience. They want to promote their products, right. So they do sponsor. Right. But of course, our variety of products will not be as large as, say, a lifestyle influencer. Right. It can have beauty, food, travel, right? A lot more sponsorship deals. So we are very limited to the finance side. Yeah. But you go and see whether it also kind of you agree with what they are selling also. Yeah, definitely have to. Yeah. There are a lot of those more scammy advertisers. We don't even reply the email. Because you don't want to just take some money and then you spoil your reputation. I don't think that's the way to go. So we still want to have some screening and some standards in the things that we associate with. You know, talking about all these like keyboard warriors, right? Sometimes I'm thinking like, do they actually bring even more like clout or engagement to like the influencers? Because recently, all over my TikTok, there's this news about like the Sabrina Carpenter like breaking up with her boyfriend, her ex lah. Then so the ex basically cheated on this girl. Then this girl reposted edits of like fans showing that this guy cheated on her. Then I'm like, wow, actually it's kind of like free, not free
It
lah,
is
but
lah.
like, infamous attention to
It
her.
is, but that's how the Logan Pauls operate. But I feel that because finance is such a regulated like industry in itself, right? That if you are attached to a FI, then naturally you have to go through compliance. But then what happens when you are an independent body back then? Like, how due diligent can you get to the point that you don't end up accidentally, giving false advice? Or some people might misconstrue things that you say. So how can you like navigate that you don't end up, attracting your zero keyboard warriors suddenly become one, Like, what's that process like to you?
There will always be haters. Okay. As I said, I don't have those that come and complain and say that, hey, wow, I buy because you say this and then I lost money.
Yep.
Right. So I don't have that kind. But I do have those that fall into scams, that impersonate me and then say, oh yeah, I invest because you asked me to invest. But that was not me lah. That was somebody else impersonating as me. And they lost, I remember one of them lost a lot of money, someone in Malaysia. I won't disclose that amount. And then there's nothing I can do, right? So I just say that wasn't me. And, it's always good that before you invest any money, it's good to check whether the financial institution is regulated or not, right? Before you even transfer. It doesn't feel good, definitely, because people are using my name to con other people. And report police, that's what you can do. And sometimes the account doesn't even get banned. It can be on Telegram, can be on Facebook. So I think that is a bigger problem rather than keyboard warriors. They just maybe leave some nasty comments.
So how much work actually goes through to ensure that your videos are as like clean in the center as possible?
I think that as long as I don't make a particular stand,
right,
that or a very strong advocacy on like, wow, you should buy this stock. You don't buy this, right? You're the dumbest person on earth.
Yep.
So there are a lot of this kind of
there are.
nowadays influencer, right? To make it more exciting, that kind of thing, right? Yeah, this is like, oh, you must buy and hold forever. You sell it. You have no diamond hands. You're a weakling, right? Yeah, I should not be on my channel, right? So I think you can sensationalize a lot of things.
Yes, correct.
But I don't.
Right.
I don't sensationalize. So I think as long as you keep things as the facts as it is,
Yeah.
I think that is the cleanest you can go.